Hi guys, Xavki here and welcome in a new video. Today we will discover what is a DaemonSet. Don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel and comment and like this video. So what is a DaemonSet? We already saw what is a stateful set in some previous videos, and we already discovered what is a deployment, but really long time ago. And today we will discover the DaemonSet. So this is a third way how to deploy a pod inside some pods inside Kubernetes. And like always, the purpose is to try to cover some use case, and you need to try to imagine how you could use a DaemonSet, like stateful set or deployment. And the specific things about the DaemonSet is that allows you to deploy pods automatically on new nodes. So you can add for example, topology or stuff like that to try to deal with that. But the idea is to say, okay, when I have a new node, I want to deploy some pods on it. And it's really useful, in fact, for some standard things, like usual for monitoring, and we will do that in the second part of this video, like in the demo. And for example, on monitoring, you want to manage your cluster and you want to manage your nodes as well, like CPU, memory, and disk or stuff like that, or your network cards and things about the hardware. And probably you want to use node exporter. And at each time that you want to add a new node, for sure, you will want to activate your node exporter, for example. That can be another tool, that can be a Zabbix agent or stuff like that. But if we take the example of node exporter, we can imagine that we want to deploy automatically a node exporter on new nodes. And that we will do that in the second part of this video. But we can do the same thing, or we can keep the same idea for the logging. And we can imagine we want to collect logs like in the same pattern that we can have on the existing node. For example, we can imagine that we want to use I don't know, Fluentbit or Vector or stuff like that. So this is some log streamers, and we want to deploy it and to automatically deploy it on new node. And we can imagine some other use case based on network or some controller or stuff like that. If you have like a GPU, for example, maybe you want to automatically download some models directly on the local disk. So for the performance and to be sure to have it really on the forefront or on the far end of your GPU deployment, where your application use GPU. And to do that, you can imagine to create a DaemonSet, and when you will add a new node, you can imagine a dedicated DaemonSet. So this DaemonSet will be in charge to create a new pod for each node. And for example, this new pod could download automatically, like on S3 bucket, some models with a weight about this model on your local disk for your new node. So there is multiple way to use it. What is important is to keep it in mind, to just have it in your toolbox. So the design is quite simple, in fact. We can imagine that we have a node exporter, and we want to create some node, I don't know, 1, 2, 100, 200 nodes, and so on. And automatically we will install on it the node exporter, but we will just install one DaemonSet for the two first servers, and after that, that will be totally automatic. I think that's it for the theoretical part, and now we can switch on the implementation part. We can take just our example. It's quite interesting, in fact, to install Node Exporter, and probably we will do that in some further videos to install the entire, or like a big part of how to monitor a Kubernetes cluster, and we will install each tool manually without Helm chart, just to well understand how it works behind the hood. And for Node Exporter, it's a classical use case, and this is this kind of things that you need to do. So how it works? Of course, you have a kind based on DaemonSet, and you need to set the DaemonSet name, so Node Exporter. We can imagine that we have a namespace named monitoring to store it. So I can create it to just not forget kubectl create ns namespace monitoring, like monitoring, like that. And now we can add the labels, some labels, sorry. And after that, we will have the selector exactly like on the stateful set and like on the deployment. No magic things here, exactly the same thing. We have the templating of pods, and for the templating of pod, like previously, we have the labels name set here, just to match the selector that we have already set just a few lines before. And after that, we will use some specification, and new specification, not only dedicated to DaemonSet, but totally in this kind of use case. And it's not really good for the security. So this is why it's better to not use it on every node or every pod that you have inside the cluster. Just for the Node Exporter, it's quite useful. What we set, we say, okay, we want to use host PID, meaning that the PID that we will have inside the container inside the pod will have the same PID, can match the same PID that we can or we have inside the node. It's really important for Node Exporter because we want to monitor not only the container and the pod, but the node where each pod will be deployed. And we will have the same thing for IPC. IPC, it's for inter-process communication, so we want to manage it as well. And we want to use the host network. In fact, it's important because we want to have an access on all network interfaces that we have on each node, so to manage it. And so to do that, we need to set the host network. Please don't use it for your classical deployment, in fact. After that, we set our regular container list, and we will have only one container, like here. So this is a Node Exporter container. It's based on the Node Exporter image provided by Prom user. It's a regular user, and the tag latest. We want to use the port 9100, so it's a classical port for the Node Exporter. That means that it will be used on the pod and on the host because we activated the host network. We set the security context privilege to true. We had some specific arguments to say, okay, we want to set the /proc/host proc file system, same thing for sys. And after that, we want to define which specific mount point that we could have on our node, like /sys, proc, dev, host, and so on. And how to access it? Because in fact, we don't want to only monitor these devices inside the pod, but we want to manage it for the entire node. And to do that, we will use the volumes. And how to do that? In fact, it's quite simple. We want to mount some host path, and we will mount the node/proc, node/dev, node/sys, and so on. And after that, we will mount it directly inside the pod with volume mount, and we will add it in /host/dev. We just, like you can see, we just add a prefix based on /host, just to say if someone just go inside the pod, we can imagine that we will discover that and say, okay, it's not the pod device, but it's the entire device that we have inside the node. And same thing for /proc, /sys, and the root file system. Take care, the root file system, it's the entire file system. That can be a security issue, but it's the only way to monitor these things. What we could do, we could add just mount all things with a read-only access to ensure to keep it safer. And if you want to do it, yes, it's really better to do that, to add just a mode equal to read-only. Okay, so I just want to copy these things. And just before, how many servers do we have here? We have just kubectl get nodes. We have only 2 nodes. And I want to create node exporter.yml with this DaemonSet manifest. Okay, and now I can push it, kubectl apply -f, and after that node exporter. So now I can use, and just before, kubectl get ds or DaemonSet. In fact, it's exactly the same thing. There is just an alias -n for monitoring, because we pushed it on the monitoring. And now we can say, okay, we have the DaemonSet node exporter. We want to have 2 pods. Currently we have 2 pods, and it's good, in fact. And if we check kubectl get pod -n monitoring, it's okay. How to test the things? I won't change the number of replica, and like you saw, there is no replica number inside the DaemonSet, and I will just go directly. So I will just open a new terminal, and I will edit the number of nodes that we have inside the cluster. And I just want to have like 1 node, or yes, 2 nodes. We can say 2 nodes. Okay, and I can apply with vagrant up. And if I say yes, normally it's quite good. And we just need to wait the installation. That will take few seconds, in fact, because there is yes, two new nodes. And we need to provision each node, but it's based only on the video 36, where we discover how to create a K0s cluster with Vagrant automatically. So I just reused exactly what we already discovered during this video. Don't hesitate to check out this video, just to be sure to have it in mind. So now we have our new server, so the 13, and scripts are ongoing on it. So it's just a provisioning script based on bash, a single bash, and we can wait a bit, but normally after that we will have a new node. So wait a few seconds again, and yes, like I said, it's quite important to have it in your mind, so this DaemonSet pattern, to say maybe sometime, oh, maybe I can use DaemonSet because for each new node I want to do something, or for a lot of nodes with some pattern or some things, I want to do it automatically, and we can imagine to just use across your cluster the DaemonSet, and at the same time we could use like the topology, just to say, okay, for all new nodes of the cluster with all with the same taint or same labels, I want to install automatically same thing, these things. Okay, so now we have a new node, it's ready. Okay, so if I just check, yes, like previously on the namespace monitoring, now 3 nodes, and this one is new as well. And we can check the DaemonSet, like here. So sorry, get DaemonSet, and 3 desired. And if we wait just a bit, yes, it's a provisioning again for the node 14, and we will have exactly the things just after that. Okay, a few seconds again. So now we just download. We are just downloading the key0s binary, and after that we will use just the token to join the cluster with the role of a worker, because it's just a worker, and that after that we will be not ready, and after that just the time to synchronize all the network things, we will have the ready status. So a few seconds again. So yes, not ready, it's okay. And I think 20 seconds after that, or maybe less, 10 seconds, 13, oh, 15, maybe 20, maybe more. Yeah, okay, just, yes, 23, it's okay. And if we check the number of pod, it's okay again. New pod are scheduled. And of course you can imagine, if we remove some node from our cluster, we will remove automatically the node for each the pod from each node. And if you have a look with -o wide, you can check, but you will have only one pod inside each node, and you can't have 2 pods for each node. If you want to do that, you need to create 2 DaemonSet with exactly the same thing, and you will have two node, for example, 2 node exporter. So we can imagine, for example, to do things like that with node exporter. I will just change the name here for the node exporter. I can say 2, just to be sure. Yes, this label is not really important. This one maybe more, because we could make a mistake if we don't change it. Okay, and if I apply it again like that with node exporter, so this is this one. And now if I check in the monitoring, now, yes, we will have node exporter. It's pending. Maybe it's due to something. It's interesting. Yes, because, yes, this is due about. We can have a look. It's interesting things with kubectl describe pods and monitoring like that. And we can't. So we have node affinity unsatisfied and stuff like that. But I think, yes, it's more complicated. So not complicated, but it's a specific things. If we just dive a bit into it and try to investigate efficiency into it, I want to say, okay, didn't have 3 ports for the requested ports. And if you check, yes, of course we have an issue. What is this issue? Is this port, in fact, because we use the host network. That means that this port, so the 9100 port, is already used on each node. So, and it's on the node, not only on the pod. And if you want to deploy, we can imagine just to change it to 1, like that. For example, I can apply it again and check. Yes, like that. And it's a crash loop because probably due to the mount or things like that. Yes, so we need to dive a bit into it again, but yes, dash n monitoring. And now probably this is another thing. It's not so clear. Yes, I don't waste your time. Not clear. So the image, it's okay. Yes, now it's more on the application side, in fact, not on the scheduling side. So if we check the logs in the monitoring namespace, logs, not pod, logs only, yes, like that. And now listen on the port. Yes, of course it's bad, already used. Yes. Why? Maybe it's yes, I know. It's due to the fact that the node exporter here, it's the pod port, but now we need to change the node exporter port. So yes, we can take few seconds. It's quite easy, in fact. Change node exporter port, like that. Maybe there is just one line to do that. Yes, this is, I think, this is, no, it's an exec start. Probably it's good. Yes, I think it's good like that. And if now we can just make that here, and we say, okay, we are on the port 101, okay, and I can apply it again, and if it doesn't work, we will just stop. That wasn't the goal of this video. And if I check like here, no change. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, logs dash n monitoring to ring, and if we check it here, it doesn't exist. Expected argument for flag collector file system ignore mount point try f. Maybe a bad settings. Yes, my bad. Here, like that. Okay, sorry. Apply, and if I check, it's good. Yes, perfect, running. No, not perfect, sorry. Okay, so maybe just the flag about node exporter is not good. Missing port in address. Oh, I don't know why. This one, address missing. Okay, maybe it's more like that. Probably. Yes, this is why they set it like here. I think it's for all interface, and if I apply it again, and if I check, yeah, it's better. Sorry for wasting your time. It's good. Thank you for following this video. Don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel, and don't hesitate to like and comment this video. It's really important to support me, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.